And for Riske, I think she's just going to be looking to take the ball early. That's one of her biggest strengths, is to cut down on time for her opponents.
Yeah,
Li really burst onto the scene, reaching the final of the Wimbledon Juniors in 2017. Those are 2 of 31 Americans in the main draw at the start.
You mentioned Ann Li in that juniors in 2017, where she had that great run to the finals, and her transition to the Pro Tour has been relatively good. I feel like in the last year and a half, she's really grown into herself and started gaining a little bit more confidence in that last year and a half.
Li.
Nice work from Ann Li, controlling the opening game quite nicely. And a strong start for the 20-year-old.
I looked very relaxed in that first game. Served well and hit with a lot of depth on the ground. Really pushed Riske off the baseline. That's something that she's going to want to continue to look to do, is because Riske likes to be up on that baseline, likes to rush her opponents. It's a good start for Li.
Alison Riske to serve.
Good first point there from Riske.
15 love.
Looking for that opportunity to move forward. I love that she didn't hesitate after that approach shot. Saw Li in trouble, immediately looked to take that next ball out of the air. It was a good move from Riske.
That matchup against Tatiana Maria in the first round did have 8 double faults, but 36 winners, broke Maria 6 times in the match.
Just those last couple second serves, it just doesn't look like she was reaching up for the ball very well, catching the ball a little bit low.
Struggles with the serve continue. Well, Joe, you mentioned technically, what do you do to reset just mentally?
Well, I think one, I'm trying to that from that particular angle, it almost looked like her ball toss was a little bit too far out in front too, and that causes you to sort of push a little bit through the ball, and you can't quite get the height over the net. She's missing quite a few into the net.
Game.
Great shot from Li.
Very nicely done.
Li leads
And
2 games
Li.
to love. First.
Riske struggling on serve, and early break for the 20-year-old.
It's just good, great movement there. Footwork from Li, really getting away from the ball, creating a lot of space, a lot of room for her to hit through it and accelerate through that shot. But to answer your question, I mean, I think for Riske, you know, just take a little bit of pace off and try and get that high serve percentage in. Good aggression from Li in the beginning of this set.
Fifteen all.
First really long
13,
rally in
15.
this first set so far. Li just being a little bit more consistent. A few unforced errors coming from Riske's racket. And right now, Li just looking a little bit more comfortable out here than Riske. Wow, it's excellent.
40-15.
Unbelievable movement there from Li. Recognizing this ball from Riske just landing really short in the court and immediately moves forward so quickly to take that ball early. Really good timing there from Li. Great defense there from Riske on the full run on the backhand. Good use of the wrist on the last shot, just flicked it angle.
Let's first serve. Game. Li.
A very confident start for Li, up 3-love.
Li leads
Against Alison
3
Riske.
games to love first set.
3-love lead for Li. Here in
Love
first set
15.
action, second round, and day 3 from New York City. Steve Mears, Joe Krabus. Joe, there's so much talk about the playing surface here new surface in New York, and certain courts being faster than others.
A lot of players are talking about that this year in particular.
30.
It's playing a lot quicker, especially these outside courts. We're on court 11, and as opposed to Ash and Armstrong that are playing slightly slower than the outside courts. It's always the case really with stadium courts, are a little bit slower. It's also a good point to bring up because I feel like these first few games of this set, Li is playing extremely well. It came out firing in the first few games, and I just felt like it looked like Riske was a little bit not used to that quicker speed. She played her first round on the Armstrong court, so slightly slower surface, and I feel like she just hasn't adjusted to this quickness out here on this court 11. See, there she was just still a little bit late.
15-40.
So interesting. Where the surface you would think would be the same universally, but the stadiums make it a little bit different. And the acute knowledge of these high-level players.
Game, Li.
Li continues.
I mean, I have no doubt that Riske is going to find her way a little bit. She'll start getting used to it, but she has gotten late on quite a few balls, and Li does hit with some good aggression, but you can just see Riske just not quite getting there on time, and that's where you really got to start focusing on just getting your feet just a little bit faster.
Low. Let for serve.
That's just great play. We mentioned at the start of this match, Li just a great all-around player. So good to see that she just doesn't hesitate. She looks very comfortable when she's coming forward into the net.
Let Fisher.
I had to like her determination that first round matchup. On the first set, 6-4, loses 2-6, then is able to win 6-1 against Aranska Rus, tough opponent. Older opponent, 29 years old, 68th in the world. And despite 38 unforced errors, able to get her first U.S. Open main draw win on Monday.
T 15.
Just missed.
Just missing.
Not a bad shot to go for. She was in
14,
position.
30.
But you can see Riske trying to pump herself up here, trying to encourage her. That was already a little bit of a better point from Riske. Got a little bit more depth on her ground strokes.
Game, Li.
More impressive work from Li. And
Li leads 5
one-sided
games to love. First set.
first set. It's 5-love. Riske seeded 13th. She's ranked 20th in the world. And serving here, looking to get on the board.
$15 love.
Such a good return.
15 all.
Good connection, good clean hit there from Li. Good change up there from Riske on the serve. Went for
30,
slightly
15.
more angle, got enough curve on it to get Li way outside the court. She was there.
There was.
Yeah, anticipated that well. It's good point overall. You can see Riske starting to get a little bit better feeling on the baseline. That was one of her best points, well constructed. Wasn't able to get the volley, but it was still a very good point from Riske.
You see her playing with a little bit more purpose and confidence.
That's what's impressive about Riske right now. I mean, down 5-love, you could easily just think that, you know, that set's gone, but she's still out there competing for every point, and she knows that she can slowly start getting better and better throughout this match, and you can see it.
You may lose the set, but you want to get something going. You could certainly carry some momentum in, right?
Exactly. Well done. One of Li's favorite shots, that inside-out forehand. This middle shot, too. It's tough to create the angle that she created from the middle part of the court, but she does a good job of getting it off the court.
Advantage, Li.
Angle or Riske. Back to deuce we go.
Deuce.
Riske handling this volley really well too. That one was dipping because Li sliced it, so Riske did a good job of getting up to that volley. Good well constructed
Li.
point. Li doing a good job of forcing Riske to hit one extra ball.
Deuce.
Riske not going away quietly. Maybe 5-love, but certainly battling here the latter part of this set.
Li trying to mix in that drop shot. Not a bad idea, but Riske actually had a really good shot from that position. She caught it pretty low, but did a good job of getting some really good depth on that approach shot.
Second serve.
Didn't miss it by much. Still a good hit there from Riske. I think those will eventually start to land in because she's just starting to get a little bit better feel from the ground.
Good work at the net from Riske.
Advantage Riske.
Seemed like trying to fire herself up. Lengthy game continues.
Good stab return there from Li. Just landing low enough. That shot is so difficult to handle when it's that low. Riske unable to bring that ball back down with enough spin.
Advantage Li.
And now a third set point for Li.
Oh, what a great shot from Riske. She was so deep in the court. Handled that swing volley extremely well from that position.
What a battle this is.
This game may never end.
With 5-love at that.
Advantage Li. Game, first set, Li.
And that is a hard-fought, hard-earned
6 games to love.
Game and first set victory for Li. Looking awfully good. That last one was not going to be easy. Alison Riske made sure of it. But it's a 6-love first set win for Li. Li is not one of those teenagers. She's 20. Sophia Kennan's 21. So this next generation, they are here.
Oh, good eye from Riske. About to take that out of there,
Plus
just
15.
letting it drop long. You can see Risk's strategy has changed. She's trying not to stay on the ground as much as possible. She's been so successful at the net, so she's really looking to come forward as quickly as possible. That's too good.
15-all.
It's not easy to change direction. I mean, that was a good deep return there from Riske, but I think Li's quickness around the court, she does a really good job of getting behind the ball, staying really balanced.
(15-30).
One is long for
15-40.
Li, and a couple of break points for Riske.
Game, Riske. New balls, please. First
Riske
game,
gets it done.
second set.
The break to start out the second set. Trying to get her footing here. Early stages in the second round against Li. Second set action from Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. No fans, but still a lot of excitement on the court. Plenty of drama as we've seen over the last 3 days. So Jill, do you see Alison just starting to get a little bit more rhythm in her game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had no doubt in my mind that she was going to start playing a little bit better. I mean, she's just such a good competitor, and I think she already started getting a little bit more of a rhythm. I think that was a little bit of a loose service game to start the second set from Li. She gave up a couple unforced errors, but Riske is definitely starting to hit with a lot more depth and starting to walk around with a little bit more confidence.
Riske played last week at the Western Southern Open, lost to Anna Samova a couple of sets.
Low.
Did play those exhibitions during the break, the UTR Pro Match Series, West Palm Beach, Florida. That was one of the first sporting events to get back into action anywhere. It was hampered by rain, unfortunately, but did see some action.
(15-all).
I think any sort of competitive match at that point throughout this time off for these players is important. If you can somehow create being able to play a few points. It was good, I think, that Riske played the tournament last week, even though she lost in the first round, just to get one match under her belt before the Open. Oh, that's well done. Great
13,
defensive
15.
skills from Li and great hands at the net there from Riske. It's actually a great get here. Li able to keep it nice and low. Riske did a good job of really just being able to control that volley short into the court.
(15).
Again, the nice touch from Riske.
40-30. Use.
Timely double.
She missed by a lot on that one. Riske, I think, still struggling with reaching up to that ball. She's letting that ball toss drop just a little bit too low. Good fight back here from
Advantage Li.
Li in this game, creating a break point chance for her.
Let the serve. Game Li.
Fourth break point of the match converted.
One game
for
all
Li.
seconds.
The exchange breaks and we're at 1-all. Second set here this evening.
Wow, that is so good
15 love.
from Li. I mean, that was a good return, and just how quick her hand was through that return to pick it up. Good acceleration, and then the way she followed through on that one down the line, that was impressive.
Fifteen all. Let the serve. Let's the serve.
It almost seems like Li is playing the type of style of tennis that Riske usually causes problems for her opponent, as far as taking the ball early, staying up on the baseline, rushing her opponents. Li's just doing a great job of picking that ball up so early. Again, great use of the court from Li,
14,
lobbing that
15.
inside out forehand, that shorter part of the court, one of her favorite shots to set up this put away.
Let. For serve.
Riske hitting 2 lines on that particular shot, skidding through the court. Great depth from Riske.
Game, Li.
It's a hold for Li.
Li leads 2-1. Second set.
2-1 lead in the second set from court 11. Looking to move on to the third round. First time in her career. Caught a lot of attention with that finals appearance, Wimbledon 2017. In addition to that, got to meet her idol there, Roger Federer. It was one of the highlights, she said, for her, that whole experience.
I think he's probably on the list for a lot of people's
Yeah, that seems
idols.
to be a trend. 2 weeks later, won her first professional title, ITF Women's Tour in Indiana.
That's well done.
15 love.
Good combination there from Riske. Hit that little bit higher ball right there, and then see her court position here, looking to take that early well inside the baseline. That's where she likes to be, to try and rush her opponents. And also think the thing that Li is doing a little bit better here than Riske is she's the one that's getting the ball off the court earlier in the point. She's the one that's getting Riske on the move. Riske has to, she wants to get back into this match, try and open the court a little bit earlier, try and get Li on the run. Great move. That was a perfect example in the corner. Got it out of the center of the court on that backhand. Good job taking that above the net, that volley.
Third teal.
Now 21 unforced errors for Alison Riske. Jill, if you're Riske, how do you prevent frustration from setting in here and affecting your game?
I think I just got to take 1 point at a time. And I think can tell she's trying to pump herself up and bring a little bit energy. I mean, I do still think she's playing a little bit better. She's just got to string more of those points together.
Juice.
I mean, Riske has got to know that we're still in this game, 2-1. Deuce.
Let's for serve.
It's 2-1 for Li. We're a deuce here with Alison Riske serving.
Let's for serve.
I think also for Riske,
Advantage.
she's
Riske.
not playing her best tennis right now, and it's still on serve in this second set. And the first few games have been close games. So if she can just keep fighting and keep trying to find that rhythm, she could be in better shape in this second set.
What a response from Li.
Deuce. Advantage Riske. Deuce.
It's a fifth double fault of the match for Riske.
Well, it was the right move there from
Advantage
Riske.
Li.
I think she's making good choices. She's not just not executing some of those important points at the end.
Okay, Li.
And the break for Li.
Li leads 3-1. Second set.
A 3-1 lead for the 20-year-old from Devon, Pennsylvania, going up against the more experienced Alison Riske. You can download the U.S. Open app to cheer on your favorite players, track the latest scores, stats, match highlights, player news, and more. Available in the App Store and Google Play Store.
Love 15. All.
Li just doing a good job of
30-15.
immediately taking that return to the open court. Riske on the defense so quickly in so many of these points. Much better there from Riske. Good ball striking from both players, and good get there from Li, but just had the whole open court Riske to hit at. Riske needs more of those points, more of those longer points, just so she can feel that rhythm for herself.
Able to capitalize. Not her
30.
first Grand Slam main draw event. She did play in the Australian Open earlier in the calendar year, beat Australian Lisette Cabrera, and then lost to the eventual champ, Sophia Kenin.
Deuce. Advantage, Li. Game, Li.
A big point for Ann Li.
Li leads 4 games to 1.
Commanding
Second set.
4-1 lead as she holds. Remember, it was Riske who started this set with the break and was seeming to get a little more rhythm, looking a little more confident, but credit to Ann Li for what she's been able to do, especially over these last 4 games. Ann Li a couple of games away from moving on to the 3rd round here in her US Open main draw debut.
Love 15.
Just too many unforced errors there from Alison Riske. It's her 26th unforced error. It's a very makeable ball. She usually is very solid on those swing volleys. That's just too good. Li just seeing the court so well today and just moving extremely well.
Let's Fisser.
A good get there from Riske on the baseline. Li almost overrunning that last one. Just caught herself, just got jammed a little bit when she went for that slice.
15-14.
Couple break point chances here for Li.
So far 5 of 8 in the match. Break points won.
Wow, that landed in.
Catches the line.
13-14.
That was an incredible angle from Riske, especially where she was. She was so far, so deep in the court.
Riske dispatches a couple of break points.
Juice.
That was such a good second serve there from
Riske.
Riske. Right on the sideline of the service box. Excellent return right off the baseline. Could see from Riske's body language that that ball skidded off the line. Good depth from Li.
Advantage Riske.
Riske first serve percentage slowly creeping up from that first set. Starting to get a lot more first serves in the second set.
First ace of the match.
Juice.
Back at deuce. As we cross the 1 hour mark of this second round matchup.
Advantage Riske. Game, Riske.
And right down the middle.
Li leads 4
Stop
games
from
to
Alison
2,
Riske,
second set.
taking it 4-2. And in the process there, saving a couple of break points.
It was a tough hold, important for her in that game to really gut that one out. That was well done from Riske, just trying to put a little pressure on Li if she can. It's going to be interesting to see how Li responds in this game, especially after not being able to convert on those couple break point chances. Started this off well. I was curious to see how she would regroup after that.
It's quite a groan from Riske on the unforced error.
Good rallying from both players.
30 love.
See some spectators on both
13,
sides.
15.
Those are not fans. Do want to clarify. There are the obvious coaches and some staff members, maybe some players been wandering around. I was one of those people at court 11 yesterday wandering around. It was a lot of fun. But no fans here this year. Are able to wander and go from court to court. Watch.
Big point right here for Li.
How about the ground covered by Li?
40-30.
Hard fought point to make it 40-30.
Game, Li.
Strong serve, and
Li leads
now
5
at
games to 2
5-2.
second sets. 1 set to love.
And Li, a game away from a third round matchup against Angelique Kerber of Germany. Battle all the way down, that very long final game of the first round. Good start for Riske.
Yeah, as soon as she got one short ball from Li, she took advantage of it. Got that good depth approach shot. She's pretty solid putting those volleys away. Doesn't usually miss those. That was well done.
Great placement from Li. Little fist pump.
15 all.
It just Li's court coverage here. I mean, she's just all over the place. And after scrambling to stay in that point, settles herself again to create an unbelievable angle passing shot.
Fifteen, 30.
Again, Li with the
15,
fantastic
14.
work at the net. We have reached match point.
Oh, a great point from Riske to save one of those match
13,
points.
14.
Starting off with a great serve and immediately hitting to the open court to get on the offensive. Still match point number 2 here for Li.
Let's for serve. Let's for serve.
Two match points saved by
Juice.
Alison Riske.
Advantage Riske.
And just incredible composure there from Riske, saving those 2 match points. Big serve there.
Let's for serve. Game, Riske.
How about Riske? Stays within striking distance,
Li
saving a
leads
couple of
5
match
games
points.
to 3, second set.
Here in the second set, we've got a 5-3 score now with Li in the lead.
Now it'll be interesting to see how Li handles it after having 2 match points.
Let's go back to what we said earlier.
Yeah, that's not easy. That's a good start.
So far, so
15
good,
love.
yeah. Something about being that close to the finish line, right?
Yes,
You know,
that's
you can speak to it. It's there's something about that pressure that's a little bit added.
You're right.
30 love.
Doesn't seem to bother her.
I think she likes the pressure.
Maybe.
Thirty, 15.
Good consistency there from Riske. I did feel like Li was just a little bit more careful in that particular point. See how she plays this next one.
Such 15.
Good serve.
Once again, 2 match points for Li, looking to move on to round 3.
T30. First serve. Game, set a match, Li.
And Li is moving on. The 20-year-old advances. She has upset the 13th seed, Alison Riske. 6-love, 6-3. Quite the performance, Jill, from Ann Li here in her U.S. Open main draw debut.
It's just an incredible performance from the very beginning. I mean, I think she just started so strong and got Riske on her back foot right from the beginning, and I was just curious, like after that 6-love first set, if she was going to be able to sustain that play, because she was firing on all cylinders, and she did an incredible job of keeping that level up. And even when Riske started playing a little bit better, she counteracted that and just played some great tennis. I mean, that was well deserved. She played really, really well.
Becoming quite the story. First round defeated Aranska Rus, 68th in the world, and now able to overtake Alison Riske, who's 20th in the rankings. And for Alison Riske, beginning, Jill, just seemed like those mistakes, those unforced errors, she just wasn't able to really find that rhythm here today.